Welcome to Rider Nation Station, presented by American Manufacturing Solutions, your total logistics partner, investing in Rider Nation Station and St. Mary's, Ohio, and to our other fine sponsors.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. Mark, thanks for joining us again this week.
Zach, it's always a pleasure to be here.
As the Rough Riders keep winning, we'll keep being here. Rough Riders got a hard-fought victory on Friday night over the Franklin Wildcats, 6-0 in overtime. And this week, they're going to travel to Dayton to Bellbrook High School, where they're going to take on the number one seeded Bellbrook Golden Eagles, and it's going to be a tough game Friday night, but we're excited that Rider Nation Station is going to be bringing you that game as well.
Heck, we're just excited that we keep playing, right?
That's right. Keep having games every week and things to do, right? So
right.
This week we have quite a few clips here, so we're going to jump right into the clips.
Let's do it.
The first one here, we're starting out easy, just a little encroachment call on St. Mary's.
Yep. Jumped into the neutral zone there. He was not looking at the football, listening to the snap count, thought maybe he had it timed up, and you just jump in that little space that's basically the length of the football, and that's enough to draw a 5-yard foul.
Now, if the ball wouldn't have been snapped there, he could have gotten back out of the neutral zone, correct?
No, he could not have.
Okay.
No,
it's a penalty
once
no
you
matter
get
what.
in the neutral zone, there's no going back.
Okay.
That's you're thinking of maybe the college rule where you can jump in and then get back before it's snapped, but not in high school.
I think you have to remind me of this every time that we talk about it, so I apologize. But if I'm saying that, then I guarantee somebody at home is too. So
not a problem.
And this is just another angle showing number 2, Dylan Gasicki, just jumping a little bit on that left side there.
Right.
So taking a look at the next play, we have a false start on Franklin. I thought this was very hard to see. It was called by the side guy comes running in. I think it's right there on the line that the left tackle from Franklin.
Okay, if we could see that again, let's just see once. That's yep, a little twitch right there, and he was again just a little bit trying to hedge his bets a little bit on that, and just twitched, and that's a false start. Yep, that's a good get by the wing guy there. Yep.
Yeah. The next play here was a missed field goal, and the reason I included this is because we were not really surprised, but we were surprised to learn that when you miss a field goal on the 2 or 3 yard line like they did there, the ball is actually brought out to the 20-yard line.
Correct.
And has that always been a rule?
As long as I've been officiating, and I've been at 35 plus years, yes.
So is that because the ball has broken the plane and then becomes a touchback?
You are absolutely correct. On a non-scoring kick, or a kick that's not going to be good, in theory, by rule, the ball is dead as soon as it breaks the plane of the goal line. Now, on a scoring kick like that one, yeah, the ball's dead, so to speak, but it can continue on through the uprights, and it's going to be a good for points. But in high school football, when a kick, a scrimmage kick, as you will, breaks the plane of the goal line, it is a touchback and will always come out to the 20-yard line.
So the field goal is treated the same way that an opening kickoff is treated. If it crosses the goal line, it's a 20-yard line.
Yeah, we like to say when I'm teaching the football class, a kick is a kick is a kick, which means until it's possessed by a receiver or somebody else, it's still a kick. Once the ball is possessed, now it becomes something different.
Including a punt,
right? So that's why you don't see receivers run kickoffs out of the end zone in high school. You don't see them run punts out of the end zone. So as soon as it breaks the plane of the goal line, it's, in theory, a dead football at that point.
And I guess with this then, so if a field goal is treated the same way as a kickoff or a punt, then if for some reason they're attempting a field goal from the 40 or 50-yard line and that ball does not cross the goal line, that ball can still be picked up and run. It doesn't have to be caught in the air.
Correct.
It can be picked up at any time by the receiving team, by the defense, and run back at that point.
It's considered, even though everybody knows it as a field goal, it's a scrimmage kick. It just looks a little different than the traditional punt, but is a scrimmage kick. And yes, if the ball is beyond the line of scrimmage, it can be picked up by the receiving team and ran with no impunity whatsoever.
Similarly, the kicking team can down it any
Sure,
time
they could go down on a field goal that's missed or is going to be way short. It's treated just like a punt would be by rule, and they could come down, let it bounce around, and down it. Or if that kick would happen to roll dead, it's dead by rule at that point. So really no difference punt, and a field goal by rule.
We're gonna, and then as we're talking about it, then a blocked kick that does not cross the line of scrimmage,
correct,
is live, and the kicking team can run that.
You are absolutely correct.
But if it crosses the line of scrimmage, it's just same as a kick.
Well, if it crosses the line of scrimmage and stays beyond the line of scrimmage, yes,
okay.
It's same as any ordinary kick. By rule, if the ball is tipped or blocked behind the line of scrimmage, really nothing has happened to it to change its status.
Okay.
All right. A little caveat there, though, is if the defense would happen to block it behind the line of scrimmage, here's a question for you and the fans. Can the kicking team then pick up the blocked ball and re-kick it? Can they kick it again? The answer to that question is yes, they can.
So it's still a live ball.
Still
they can do
live
it.
ball.
They can pass it. They can kick it.
They can pass it.
At that
Absolutely.
point.
It's like it's never done anything. It's not, in theory, it's never left the kicker's foot because it's still behind the line of scrimmage at that point. Yep.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, we're going to take a look. I think we flushed a lot out from that one clip there. So we're going to take a look at this. This was holding called on Franklin. I believe it's in the bottom of your screen there, 40.
Number 40 probably. Yeah, he probably hooked him, and the flag's right there. Let's just see if this will give us another shot at it here.
Yeah, and I know we called it on the field. It looked, at first it looked like an okay block, and I said, well, you can see kind of he had underneath. If I remember right on the replay, you could see he had his hands up underneath the shoulder pads.
Right, and that's probably what the official saw. He should probably not have the hands there, and he took. It looks like he might have taken a step away, although the defender went inside. So if you leave that go, I would have no problem leaving it go. No problem, supporting that call either. So it's just it looks a little different on the field than it does on film here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen close calls like that, and so you can see it can go kind of either way there. Now this next play, Mark, was a very big play in this game. This was a blindside block that brought back a touchdown for Franklin. So you see the quarterback scramble, and right there in the middle of the screen, again, number 40 makes a block. We'll probably have to run it back here a couple times for you to be able to see it.
Yep.
But
let's see if we can.
Right here.
Oh, saw that, where the player ends up at the 40-yard line. Yep.
Correct.
That's a good, because he's coming back against the grain. And yeah, that's a good call right there.
What are the officials looking for with a blindside block?
Well,
like this?
in truth, the play is designed to run downfield. All right, this player for Franklin was swimming upstream, if you will, against the grain, if you will, and that will get our attention quicker than anything else because you got somebody running in a different direction than everybody else. So you're like, okay, we got to put our eyes on that player to see what's coming. So here he comes, and he makes the hit. Now that block would have been fine if he would have had his hands and made contact with his hands. Okay, so what they're trying to do is that contact with the hands is less violent than it would be a shoulder-to-shoulder type thing. So it wasn't in the back, it was from the side, but because the hands didn't make initial contact and make the block, and that's all it needed there was just a little hands to shield him from the play, it would have been fine.
So it was because he lowered his shoulder and took that.
I mean, 2 years ago, that would have been a great block.
Right.
It would have been on ESPN or something like that. But
Yeah.
now with the change and trying to keep some of the violence out of the game, the hands would have had to been out there, and it would have been a good block at that point.
Well, fortunately for St. Mary's, that was a big call because it took Franklin back, took the touchdown away. St. Mary's was able to make the stop, and of course they went into overtime 0-0.
Sure.
Interesting play call there, though. I'm sure everybody on the field saw that, and I'm sure people from Franklin weren't happy with that one. But
that was a good call right there.
Wanted to look at that.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to have some more clips.
Okay.
And we're gonna ask for, of course, Mark Cisco's opinion for the clips right after this.
American Manufacturing Solutions is proud to invest in St. Mary's and proud to sponsor Rough Rider football. Think AMS, think logistics, done right. AMS is your complete supply chain solutions provider. Have electrical service needs? AMS can take care of that too. Call us at 419-300-1007 or visit us at AmericanMFGSolutions.com.
Whether your goals include college education funding, retirement planning, generating income, or reducing taxes, at Glass Daringer Investment Management, we've got you covered. Stop in and speak with Jeff Deringer or Kevin Glass at 100 West Spring Street today. Glass Deringer Investment Management. Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC.
For all your sporting good needs, visit Albert Sporting Goods at 121 West Spring Street, serving the St. Mary's community since 1980.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. Mark, we want to take a look, jump right back into the clips here. So number 6, we have a no pass interference called on St. Mary's. Just wanted to know if you thought that was the right call or not.
Yeah, if you're talking about the play up there along the sideline, I think that's probably a good no call. You got a receiver that's coming back for the football, and it looks like it's thrown a little low, and it would be hard pressed to call. I mean, at that point, the defender has as much right to the football as the receiver does.
Sure.
And they're just trying to both get to the football, and that's a good no call.
Sure. It's all. I think Franklin wanted to call there, but I didn't see that it was a lot of intentional contact before the ball had actually gotten there. So, looking at the next play, then this was a call that we thought maybe there would be roughing the passer called on Franklin against the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that was probably a good no call as well. We got the defender in chase mode here, and does the St. Mary's QB get? Yeah, but at that point, it would have been hard for the defender to lay off, although athletes these days are good athletes and can possibly do that. He hits him around the waist. It's not like he took him high or he gave him a shot after the fact just because he let go of the football. I think that's probably a good no call as well.
So officials are looking to see what kind of a hit that is. If he picks him up and drives him down,
then you're going to have something entirely different because that's way after the play. I mean, he's within one step, and even though we don't have a rule that says one step or two, it's kind of a judgment on the referee's part as to what went on there. And at that point, good no call.
Okay. Next call was a false start on St. Mary's. I was having some trouble seeing this. I thought one of the reasons why I include this was because the back judge is actually the one that.
Well, the umpire makes the call, so it's got to be down there inside someplace. I don't know. I mean, I'm having trouble trying to figure out where it might be as well. He might have seen something. Maybe somebody picked a hand up in there. That angle's kind of tough to see. That umpire is a pretty good umpire, so he saw something that didn't fit.
And I couldn't see anything on any of the replays either. So I looked in there, but I just thought, because seeing the umpire make the call, I thought you would know.
My guess is there was a hand that might have been picked up that we just don't see movement with the shoulders or anything else.
Can the center sometimes be called for a false start?
More than times than not, we probably get a snap infraction where they'll hitch or something like that, or scoot the ball and then stop, and that goes nowhere right there. We'll put a stop to that right away.
Is a snap infraction the same 5-yard penalty
as
a false start? Okay, so
it's the same signal as well. You may not know what it is.
So maybe that was what was called.
Could be,
because I saw the illegal procedure.
Could very well be.
Okay. We're going to look at this next play. This was a sort of controversial from the St. Mary's side. We had a St. Mary's punt, and they called catch interference on the St. Mary's defender.
Okay.
And what was interesting was the St. Mary's defender didn't really move from the spot that he was in, and the Franklin guy didn't necessarily move into that spot. It was just that the St. Mary's defender, I guess, happened to be in the spot where the ball dropped.
Yeah, obviously there's no contact there, although does he prevent the receiver from coming up to catch the football? I think probably that's what was being called, because you got to give the receiver an opportunity to catch the football. And you see the St. Mary's player back up a little bit because the receiver is coming at him, but he was pretty much in his face. Again, I know this crew, and the back judge has state championship game experience, so I think that's probably a good call. Yes, controversial, but a good call.
Yeah, and it's tough when you see that on the replay there. I don't know how the defender really I guess he just has to make sure he's staying far enough away from the receiver that the receiver has the possibility to come forward if he wants to.
Correct. The rule says you have to give the receiver an opportunity to come and get the football. Now, if that receiver had backed away from it, then you have nothing.
Is there any halo in high school
No
football?
halo in high school football.
So it's just it's a matter of judgment at that point.
Again, a lot of high school is judgment, and they keep some of these college rules and stuff out of the high school game because it just adds complexity.
Sure.
And they want to make the game simple for the kids to play and simple, truthfully, for the officials to officiate.
Sure. Well, no harm, no foul, because no points came of that particular one. But this next play here was as Franklin was driving towards the end of the game. They gave him a first down. Just was wondering your thoughts on the spot of the ball. I thought from looking at it, he had to get to the 50-yard line to get the first down. And I didn't think he got there, but they gave it to him anyway.
Well, again, that's going to be tough to see. Can we roll that back 10 seconds or so, or and just let it go from there? Snap the football. The wing on this side is running in like he thinks it's short. We have to get to the line. We got to touch the 50-yard line. Dewey with the ball. The wing at the top did what he was supposed to do. He went to the line to gain and should have a good look at it. He's acting like he has a great look at it.
Sure. And
if the ball just touches there and the ball carrier was driven back, then we have forward progress.
Sure.
So sometimes it's a crapshoot in there.
Yeah.
Especially when the quarterback takes it and goes forward, you just got to kind of figure where it might be. Sometimes where it ends up. Yeah. I think he made the decision right away, so I think we'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt.
Well, and it was tough. I mean, very close.
Sure.
A big pile up there, and it was only third down, so he would have had maybe an opportunity at it again. But in any case, I think there was a large sack a couple plays later. So here we are. Franklin's throwing with about 15 yards. And, Mark, this was just truly an unbelievable play here. Not necessarily an official call, but, well, I guess it was an official call because they had to say that the ball was still alive. Basically, the Franklin receiver went to try to catch the ball. The ball is rolling out around on top of the players, and St. Mary's Aiden Eigenbrod, number 10, sort of grabs the ball off of him. So bounces around, number 10 grabs it there on top.
Well, if the ball never touches the ground, obviously it was loose.
Right.
Okay, if the ball was loose and the player's on the ground and it's still, it's loose there and he comes away with it, that's a great call.
Yeah.
I mean, and they talked about it here. You got three of them looking at it, and they're getting together. What did you see? Did it ever hit the ground? Nope, I don't think so. Well, then it looks like it's a good catch. Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to talk about then was the mechanics after it that I thought was very nice. Nobody made a call right away. They gathered on the field and to talk to each other.
This crew did exactly what they should have right there. Yeah, they got together, talked about it, and if one of them had said, no, I saw the ball hit the ground, then it would have been an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But they got together, and quite honestly, I'm sure they were shocked that the St. Mary's kid come up with it, but they're trying to figure out whether it hit the ground or not, and it did not.
Yeah.
So there you go.
These angles are hard with this particular camera on the broadcast from Rider Nation station. It was obvious that you could see it. It just laid on top of the player and just kind of rolled over with him.
There you go.
As we've seen sometimes in the
great defensive play.
Yeah. So it was just amazing and it was cool, and I thought a good job by the officials of showing that. Mark, we're going to take another break here. When we come back, we're going to look at the few final clips.
Okay. So
we'll be back with that and more right after this.
Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily, open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Rough Rider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Rough Rider community.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors out there. Be sure to check out the Doug Fry Show on the Rider Nation station every night, Thursday night on our YouTube station. Be sure that you subscribe and sign up for notifications so that you can be notified whenever a new clips come out, including our Friday night football that we're going to be bringing you this week, St. Mary's against Bellbrook. So every week we try to bring something new from Rider Nation Station, and we thank you and thank our sponsors for allowing us to do that. Mark, this next play here was a punt from Franklin, and Franklin's punter was trying to do a little acting job here, I think, at the end of there. I guess I'm just curious what the official.
Well, the referee's back there looking at that.
Right?
He's focused on that. The first guy clearly misses, and the second guy coming in, my guess is runs right by him. And if he brushes him, you got nothing. I mean, you got the punter there. He's keeping the leg in the air longer than he probably should. And if the second guy got part of the leg, the referee was going to be like, no, I'm sorry. Nice try, but you get an Academy Award, but you get nothing else.
Have you ever seen anybody be called for, I don't know.
Taking a dive?
Yeah, taking a dive on that?
I've thought about it against a punter or two once in a while, but that would be kind of unheard of, so you don't do that. I had a situation one time where clearly the guy was running through and missed the punter by a good yard and a half. I was seeing daylight through between the kids, and the punter just flopped.
Yeah.
And of course the sideline's going crazy, and I'm like, Coach, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I ought to flag your kid for being unsportsmanlike.
Right.
That put a stop to it.
Yeah.
So punters are, they can do that sort of stuff and sometimes get away with it. Yeah.
As you see that called in soccer, I think they call it simulation. They'll give them a yellow card for.
I call it flopping, is what I call it.
And flopping as well. So that's a popular thing. It'll be interesting to see if something like that ever comes to football. But it doesn't happen a lot.
Right.
So. This next call was a holding call on St. Mary's. It was in the backfield and held right there, number 23 from Franklin. They said was held by, I think, 35, Tanner Howe. And
let's just take a look here.
Unfortunately, being in the backfield kind of came back pretty far on that.
Yeah, let's just see here.
So 35, I think, is on the end there, Tanner Howe, and the guy kind of gets twisted around a little bit.
Yeah, we might have had something there. I mean, again, the angle's a little funky for us. You got the wing guy looking right at it. It's hard to say. I mean,
it looked to me right off of the line of scrimmage here, and here's another angle of it. So right there, it kind of like maybe pulls him back a little bit and twists him.
I think probably that's what got their attention. Although he got it early. And I think what you got is a hold right here on 27. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
You took a step away from him. Yep.
This is another good clip of why it's hard to see from the sideline what from the back that you can see there. So
the referee was looking right at it.
Right.
Yep.
This next clip here, Mark, was no pass interference called on St. Mary's. Just wanted to, obviously we were happy that it wasn't called, but wanted to make sure that what your thoughts were on it.
Well, let's take a look. Now, I think we have the defender going for the football. He's going up. He's really not going through the offensive man. Gets the hand up. I couldn't see the other hand, but it looked like it was a good play by the St. Mary's defense.
Good play by Dylan Troglin to get up and make a play on the ball there. Again, I don't know if Franklin had thought that this one should be called or not, but I thought on the field it looked pretty good.
Pretty good call, yep.
All right, on this next play then, we have roughing on the St. Mary's punter that wasn't called. Again, just wondered your thoughts. I think that they said that it was blocked. So,
well, we might have had a block there. The punt didn't look like it went very far, and I'm sure he got a piece of it. Yeah, and at that situation, the defender is going for the football, so you're going to excuse contact on the punter at that point. Now, obviously,
so anytime there's contact, there cannot be roughing the
pretty
kicker?
much not.
Okay.
Unless we've got a shot to the helmet or something like that. All right, but that wasn't the case here. He got a piece of the football, so any contact on the kicker is going to be excused in that regard.
Which official is looking for that? Or
the referee's looking for it right
okay.
there. He's back there about 5 yards behind the punter and at least 10 yards wide.
Yeah.
And that's going to be my sole responsibility is make sure that kick gets off and officiate any action on the kicker at that point.
That segues nicely into this call, which was in overtime. This was a blocked field goal, and Coach Fry just told us in the Doug Fry show this week that bounced off of Stosh Patterson's helmet.
Okay.
And so Stosh Patterson sort of comes into the kicker after the play, but again, that's not, you can't have roughing the kicker then if it's blocked, right?
Pretty much not, because he's coming right through there, and his momentum is taking him forward. If he's that close, then, we're going to excuse. Now, if somebody else had delivered a shot, then can we see that one more time, possibly? So we're talking about the kid that comes up the middle, taking it off his helmet?
There's two guys. The guy that comes in early actually does not get a piece of it, but the guy coming in late it comes off his helmet, and then he's the one that runs into the kicker.
He's the one that runs in. All right, let's just see here once. Yeah, that might have been iffy, truthfully, because you got the guy that maybe is not making the block on the kick, making the contact. So,
I think that was him, though. Okay. So that was 52. Okay. So it was him coming in there.
Then you're going to excuse that pretty much. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's that close. You're going to let that all go.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Good call by the officials.
That was pivotal because that was in the overtime. Right. And so that stopped. It went 0 back and gave St. Mary's a chance to either kick a field goal to win. Fortunately for St. Mary's, they were able to
take 2 plays to score or 3 plays, something like that?
2 or 3 plays, and Ross Henson got in the end zone. So good, hard-fought. As you can see from some of those clips, hard-nosed, 2 teams, hard-nosed football there.
Yes, it was.
So thank you, Mark, again for checking out the clips with me.
It's always fun.
Hopefully we're back next week checking out clips from Bellbrook. So we appreciate everybody again for tuning in each week. Thank you again, and have a great week, everyone.
American Manufacturing Solutions is proud to invest in St. Mary's and proud to sponsor Rough Rider football. Think AMS, think logistics, done right. AMS is your complete supply chain solutions provider. Have electrical service needs? AMS can take care of that too. Call us at 419-300-1007 or visit us at AmericanMFGSolutions.com.
Whether your goals include college education funding, retirement planning, generating income, or reducing taxes, at Glass Derringer Investment Management, we've got you covered. Stop in and speak with Jeff Derringer or Kevin Glass at 100 West Spring Street today. Glass Derringer Investment Management. Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC.
For all your sporting good needs, visit Albert Sporting Goods at 121 West Spring Street, serving the St. Mary's community since 1980.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily. Open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Rough Rider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Rough Rider community.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.